All right. Are you sitting down? Good. Are you eating cake? Good.
What kind of cake is it? Is it good cake, or is it that gross cake?
It's carrot.
I'm approving of carrot.
Cautiously optimistic.
If you had said Black Forest, I would have thrown this table off the goddamn sun deck.
Black Forest really does suck. You know what's funny? Before we get into anything, let's talk about cake for a minute.
I agree.
But all of the German cakes are gross. Black Forest sucks. German chocolate cake also sucks.
Really sucks.
What's up? German, I feel like, should be on top of both chocolate and cake, and yet they make the two worst things that combine those.
They do.
Why?
Because they clearly do not have an understanding of cakes and comedy.
They make a good joke here and there. They pulled a few funnies in their time.
Pull my finger fart.
Germany, where the national slogan is, let's keep things in the present, shall we? The reason you should be eating cake is because today is a goddamn celebration. Today is a milestone. Today is episode 20 of VCW Hearts Wrestling, and it only took us, I didn't look how long it took us. I feel like a long time? I'm going to say a long time.
It was a long time.
What was the first Mania we did? 2012?
Probably.
Okay, so episode 20 took us just shy of 4.5 years. Pretty good.
There was lots of going on in the middle of that.
There was lots of going on in the middle of that. But at this pace, we'll see you for episode 100 in, long after Drew's dead. And I won't be well.
Neither one of us will be in good spirits.
No. But neither of us are even in good spirits now, because we regrettably have to talk about wrestling for you assholes on the internet.
Yeah.
But we do it.
Bunch of jerks.
We do it in spite of ourselves. And in spite of you.
It's mostly in spite of you.
Yeah. So...
Fucking Brock.
So what's today? Where am I? What year is it?
It is...
Who's the president?
2016, the year of our Lord.
Okay.
It is August the 26th.
Would you describe today as a hot August night?
I would describe it as a very robust and...
That's not an English word, but please continue.
It is a very enlightening...
Robust. Is that a person playing for music for money on the street who's kind of heavy? They're a robusker.
That is correct. What
Okay.
it is.
Good. Sorry, you were. I hate to interrupt. Please continue.
Nope, my brain's a blank.
You're
Apparently my on-the-fly banter needs some work.
Post-concussion symptoms are setting in hard and fast. Where were we? Hot August night, Rolling Stones. Where were we? So it's late August. It is the night, in fact. I don't know when you're listening to it, but this is a nighttime podcast. So please, if you have this in your ear holes right now and it's daylight outside, throw the pause button on and go grab a bite, catch a nap, do something weird but not illegal.
Rub one out to the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Rub one out to the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Look it up.
From Disney Robin Hood, not fucking Alan Rickman. That'd be weird. And then once it gets dark, unclick that pause button. I assume you still have the headphones in, and now you're listening to this at the correct time.
All snuggle up in bed.
Yeah.
Ready to shut your eyes.
Yep.
This is your peaceful, relaxing calm for the evening.
Yeah. Let's just turn this into like an ASMR podcast. Just like make just weird whisper things and rub material on other material. I don't really get ASMR, but
there's too many weird internet subcultures I do not understand.
Yeah. We're gonna have to devote some time to this. But until that, I guess we'll talk about wrestling for a minute.
When are we going to make
out
more in what?
Sorry.
More hearts things that involve disgusting things we find on the internet.
We should do more of that. We have really limited ourselves.
We haven't.
We've done.
VCW is furry adjacent.
Yep. because so far we've really limited ourselves to cinema, wrestling, and murder.
And murder.
Are the three we've done. But we definitely could branch out in the Dick's Cast podcast network, which you registered that, right?
Dick's Cast 1?
Dick's Cast 1.
Yeah.
But until then, today's topic of funversation.
Ooh.
That's a combination of conversation and fundamentals.
A fundamental conversation,
Yes.
if you were.
Is a topic we've brought up on, I'm going to say 5 of the last 6 podcasts, which takes us back about a year,
Yep.
if not more.
If not more.
But we're actually going to do it. I think it would be pretty funny if we talked about doing it for this whole podcast and then did not do it.
Yeah, that would be
So
great.
let's keep that on the table
Okay.
and see how it goes.
It's an option.
But
No, we could segue into something completely different, as in the fact that you and I have not recorded a podcast about Badlands, Texas.
no, we could do Badlands, Texas, the spiritual successor to Making a Murderer, because there's some good stuff to talk about in that.
There's some good stuff to talk about.
And I feel like a lot less people have heard about it than Making a Murderer. Because
Making a Murderer was a big thing.
yeah, and I had not heard about this until you told me. And it's on the National Geographic channel, so it's not like it's getting Netflix play or network play or anything like that. But it's pretty cool. So that's our not at all wrestling related recommendation of the day. Go find Badlands, Texas if you liked Making a Murderer. And if you didn't like Making a Murderer, go find Badlands, Texas, because it's a different show.
Bust yourself up with your own joke.
Yeah.
You're scum.
Yeah. I really did enjoy that, because I surprised myself with where it was going. That was fun for everyone. That was a journey. I took myself on a journey. I didn't even care if anyone else was on it.
Did you finish it?
Yep. It was incredible. It was a Homeward Bound. The Incredible Journey.
Yeah.
2 dogs and a cat.
Not enough cats, too many dogs.
Yeah. I would agree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remake it just with some strays I find.
Homeward Bound with 3 cats, where nothing happens.
Where they definitely don't get home.
No. Well, they probably don't get lost in the first place.
True.
Cat gets lost in the wilderness. It just finds the first person that it can trick into feeding it.
Yeah,
and that's where it
you're
lives
my home now. Yeah. So yeah, that's a much different movie.
None of this dumb dog shit. Where it's chasing after people.
Definitely a less heartwarming movie. 3 cats get lost and go somewhere else.
Cats find a dead body, live off it for years.
Yep.
Cats killed were the reason why there was a dead body in
Where are you going?
in Stand By Me. Cats killed that guy, and then Kiefer Sutherland found it, and the cats feasted on that body for years.
Kiefer Sutherland and Fat Jerry O'Connell.
God, how sad must your life be to lose your wife to Jerry O'Connell?
Yeah, that's
The fat kid from Stand By Me stole John Stamos' wife.
Yep.
How sad is that?
Yeah, that's re-examining time.
Because John Stamos is considered a very attractive man by a lot of standards.
John Stamos, highly fuckable, 1986 to present.
To present. Jerry O'Connell, fuckable maybe now?
1986 only.
Oh, that is just horrible.
I want to fuck that fat kid. Put that on my tombstone. Along with pepperoni.
Oh, come on. I'm not giving you a tombstone. We're burying you out back like a
Shallow
dead cat.
grave. The shallowest of graves. Not even digging. Just lying outside.
Not just barely covering you in dirt that way that the raccoons and the coyotes can eat your corpse.
As was stated in my will, so I can't complain.
True. I'm just following your rules, man.
Yep.
You tell me what to do and I follow them.
I'm glad. What's this podcast?
I believe we were talking about how fuckable Jerry O'Connell was. That's
right. Robust. What the fuck? Been drinking without me. This podcast. Did I mention it was episode 20 and we're eating cake? We've been through cake. I'm just seeing how long I can do it at this point. This is just a personal challenge. The topic is the topic we've talked about many times before, and God damn it, we're going to do it. We have
Abortion!
Let's talk about it.
Pro or anti?
I'm pro the killing of doctors who perform them.
Okay.
Yes.
That's not really a stance on abortion. That is a stance on professionals giving a service to pregnant women who no longer want the thing growing inside them.
Okay, fair. Pro killing the doctors, pro killing the women who want to have abortions, and definitely keeping the babies.
Okay.
Is that a stance?
That is a stance.
Yeah.
You want the babies to live
Yes.
and the mothers to die for considering killing the babies.
Yes, because it's an affront to God.
Interesting decision.
Yes.
Especially considering God does not approve of your lifestyle.
He doesn't know what I do. Has anyone ever taken that stance before?
That is the ultimate throwback. God does not approve of your lifestyle. God doesn't know what I do. It's my life. I do what I want.
Mind your own business.
God is everywhere. Well, then God's seen some horrible things.
God has poked out his eyes Oedipus style. Oh, it was a fun time.
Take a breather.
All right. Well, that's it for this podcast. Good night, everybody. This podcast is where I'm going to do it. I'm going to power through. Where you hit the wall and you gotta, Drew, you gotta keep going. By the way, I'm Scott, that's Drew. We haven't introduced ourselves yet. We're 73 minutes into the podcast.
Do you remember when Daniel Cormier stomped like a horse?
I don't know where that came from, but yes. Drew's completely dying about the memory of UFC light heavyweight champion Daniel Cormier stomping like a horse.
Stomp twice for this.
Oh.
I can't do this. I can't do this podcast anymore.
Drew's having respiratory failure at Daniel Cormier horse counter.
If you have 3 apples and you take away 1 apple, how many apples do you have?
He gets it.
Somebody needs to make that video.
All right, here's the thing. Gonna.
I'm crying right now.
We're gonna take it down for you guys. Here's what's going on. We got a bunch of wrestlers. I swear to God, we can do this. How far out are we actually in? Oh, that's actually way less than I thought.
12 minutes? That's pretty good.
No, that's what time it is.
Oh.
We're 14.
Oh, okay.
Still less. I honestly thought we were well over an hour. We got a bunch of wrestlers. And that's it.
Just going to name some names and then move on.
We're just going to name some wrestlers, and we're going to see if... I'm going to name a wrestler. We're going to see if Drew's heard of that wrestler, and if he has, we'll move on. And if he hasn't, we'll also move on. Is that a good game?
That's a fun game.
I think
that's the guy. Continue.
Yep. Next. No, don't know that guy. All right. Anyway, we got a list of wrestlers who have had all somewhat
lengthy careers,
lengthy and prolific careers, and the thing with this particular set of wrestlers is their careers have spanned, in most cases, 2, a couple cases 3.
Couple 3.
Very specific periods, whether it be with one fed and then another, or just 2 very different time periods. For example, your Shawn Michaels first and second run with the 4-year gap in between. So that's the deal. So we're going to go wrestler by wrestler. We're going to see. I'm going to talk a bit about what they did in each run, and then we are going to discuss which of the 2, or in some cases 3 runs was the best. And we will, and by discuss, I mean violently debate in the cases where we disagree, and we cannot move on until one person has convinced the other person that theirs is the correct one.
This seems like it's going to take a long-ass time.
Put a pot of coffee on.
I'll put several pots of coffee on.
No, nobody sleeps the night until everyone's mad.
Yes, that's... All right. I accept the rules of your Punjab prison.
That's all I ask. So do we want to just get on to it, guy? Do you want to do that other 15 minutes of banter we practiced? Or?
Sure, yeah. Let's run through that.
All right,
do the rundown.
Get your script out.
And then we'll go from there.
Perfect.
Okay. I'm just going to start at the top and build towards the main event, which I guess is...
What is the main event?
HBK or Kurt? HBK?
Sure.
Sure. Well, let's...
Who's the top?
Well, we'll just start with whatever I wrote down, and we'll go with it. So, the first participant is one Robert Van Dam.
Oh, we're starting with the best wrestler.
Yes.
And working our way down.
Yes.
To the worst wrestler, Shawn Michaels.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Deal.
The way that RVD was kind of broken down was his pre-WWE, WWF.
Yeah.
His WWF, WWE. And we're counting that as the whole first run, leaving, and then that brief second run he had with the feud with Del Rio, all as WWE. Even though the time periods are different.
Oh, I see, okay.
But mainly because, he didn't win anything.
No.
So, you're really just basing yourself off those matches with Del Rio.
Pretty much, yeah. And, he was in, a Money in the Bank and had some matches with Del Rio.
Yeah. And then, of course, all the TNA stuff after that.
Yeah.
So if you're looking based solely on titles or accolades for their time, he was a 2-time ECW Tag Team Champion.
Yeah. So first run time wise, we're talking his debut or whenever in I would guess 91 or so. Wouldn't it be that? If you want to look it up, go for it.
We can talk and I'll look.
Yeah. So first run, we're talking 91 to the beginning of 2001 when ECW died. So is ECW, WCW as Robbie Z?
Robbie V. 91, you're right.
Yeah, and whatever other bits and pieces he did in
early WCW
in that time. So you said 2 ECW tag titles?
2 ECW tag titles.
Both with Sabu?
Both with Sabu.
Yeah.
And then a one-time television champion.
Which went for 2 years.
Until
he got injured.
Yeah.
And strangely, no ECW world title, although we were saying just before we started recording that him being injured for a whole bunch of time did not help his case for that, because you got to imagine after the giant TV reign, he was probably poised for the world at some time.
I think the thing with that, too, though, is that when he was the ECW TV champion, he was really being brought into, singles wrestler,
yes,
mid-card worker, work really hard, good work rate, had all the best matches in the show, super over, gets hurt. By the time he comes back, unfortunately for him, Rhino was a thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like Rhino was, the big to-do. And,
he was their guy, for sure.
And even then, Taz, during the first time when RVD was champion, when he was around, Taz was a huge thing, and then kind of Mike Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So he was kind of yes, he was one of the more popular guys, but he was definitely down the pecking order as far as main event status, I think. And that's not that he wasn't able to do main event stuff, but I think at the time, the crowd was really into, Taz dropping people on their heads and shit.
Yep.
And then they were really into Rhino just, running roughshod over everyone. Right? And then even so, even when he came back, they still, they were pushing Just Incredible pretty good.
Yeah.
And Sandman was always a mainstay, no matter how drunk.
I think when he came back, Just Incredible was champion.
Yeah, and Jerry Lynn had just kind of moved up. Yeah. Right? So for him, it was just I guess kind of bad timing.
Yeah, and because I think he came back in like summer 2000, and there was only 6 months of ECW left. So like, if it had gone longer, he would have won.
And he was feuding with Scotty Anton, which kind of kept him
didn't
like
help matters.
No, but it kind of kept him out of the title,
out of the picture,
right? So, but like, are we just running through the next one? We didn't really discuss the format of this that well before we started recording.
We would just, talk about the both things, what the good stuff they did in both, and then see what we think about each one.
Okay.
So yeah, and he made his name in the in that first run, and that's where everyone, ECW not, he didn't really do much of anything early WCW, but like he became a big deal, and with the obviously the ECW crowd and early internet crowd.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was, because, luckily for ECW, it was really during, like, the big boom of the internet, like, when it sort of became, it obviously wasn't as accessible as, like, the early 2000s had become, but you could get, like, tapes, or you could get some footage online. Like, you'd be able to find stuff. Like, I remember
you could watch stuff on Real Player from the ECW site. I definitely did that. Yep.
I remember being able to. What was it? AimWire? Was that a thing? I feel like AimWire was a downloading thing.
It'd have to do with like AIM, like AOL, or something else.
Maybe, but
there was LimeWire.
I remember LimeWire as well, but it was similar to LimeWire.
Okay.
But I remember that was the place
a Napster type thing.
A Napster type thing,
yeah.
And I remember that you could find, that was the only place you could find ECW pay-per-view, like pay-per-views and TV and stuff. But I do remember it being on TV. It was on what now then became Spike TV.
Yeah.
But it was TNN at the time.
Yeah, the Nashville network.
And I remember that,
and then the National network when they didn't want to be a fucking country music station anymore. We got ECW in Canada starting in September '99.
Yeah.
And obviously it was in parts of the U.S. much earlier than that. And ECW Hardcore TV had been a thing since '93 or whatever.
Yeah. And I remember being able to download, like, you could download the I don't think you could download the whole pay-per-views. I think they were broken up into matches, but they were, like, the only, I remember the like, every time you would go in and look, the only thing you could find was, like, pretty much every RVD match.
Yeah, because he was the biggest deal.
Well, because he was like the internet darling of that time, right? Like, he was the guy that everybody was like, holy shit, RVD. Like, Rob Van Dam was, like, the internet guy.
Yeah, and he still sort of, because he still had, like, a cool underground cred to him, because he wasn't WWE or WCW.
No, and he definitely had, he had a different moveset. He was, like, even though there was cruiserweights...
He was impossible to make in video games, because none of his moves were in video games.
Yeah, of course. Even though there was cruiserweights in WCW...
Yeah.
He was way different than cruiserweights.
He was cruiserweights with tables and chairs.
He was cruiserweights with tables and chairs, but was also, like, it was kind of like a ninja.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like, flexibility, kicking, rolls and stuff. Like, nobody was really doing that anywhere else. Which I think brought a lot of appeal to him early on.
Yeah.
But, like, and the thing is, him and Sabu had, like, tons of really, like, awesome matches against, like, just wrecking themselves and wrecking the other guys.
Yep.
Against, like, and they wrestle everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, there was a really good one from Guilty as Charged, where it's him and Sabu versus Storm Incredible.
Okay, yeah.
And I think that one's really good.
I think they had a good one against Storm and Candido as well.
Storm and Candido, yeah, I remember that one too.
They have had both a good and a terrible match against the Eliminators.
As I think most people do.
Yep.
Yeah. And Public Enemy, like, they had they faced everybody, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Furnace and LaFon.
Yes.
Furnace and Crawford in ECW. Dan Crawford, whose name Drew forgot and only could remember him as Phil LaFon, even though he was Phil LaFon for, 8 months of his multi-year career and was Dan Crawford for the rest of it.
And is also possibly one of Kelly's favorite wrestlers.
Yes.
Yeah, so early on, obviously had a really great run. Then he, when ECW went under, and they did, everybody moved over, or the ones that they cared about moved over.
The ones they wanted moved over.
Well, weirdly though, if you think about it, I don't want to get off on too much of a side thing here, but if you think about
All
it,
right,
like,
Dennis Miller.
look at all of the WCW guys that never came over.
Yeah.
But pretty much everybody from ECW came over.
At one point
At
or
one
another.
point or another, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you really think about it, like, almost everybody was there.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a few,
certainly not everyone came over in 2001.
No, but at
like
least-
after the one night stands
Exactly.
and all that.
Yeah,
like
you know,
everyone
everybody.
got a shot.
Raven, even. You know,
Raven,
like Tom
Sabu.
Dreamer, Sandman, Sabu.
Yeah.
Right. Like everybody made the transition over.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there was guys that like died or sucked or were on drugs.
Sure.
But
In ECW, really?
yeah, the one guy that I'm sorry, still on the sidetrack. The one guy that I was always bummed that never came was Masato Tanaka. But
Yeah.
I don't know what Tanaka would have done in WWF. Like,
Who knows?
yeah, I mean, he went back to Japan and he had some fun times.
His
Then-
one ever match under sort of the WWE
Yeah.
umbrella
Yeah.
was the best.
was awesome.
So
And also has Joey Styles wishing for Mike Awesome's death a few years before he died.
which he got. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with going somewhere, batting 1,000 and leaving.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, so he makes the jump over, and he had quite the career. I would say a lot of ups and downs, because there's definitely lots of times where they like had nothing for
Yeah,
him
there are
to
times
do.
where he was like super, super hot, and then times, where they just like weren't doing shit with him.
So I'll run down his accolades.
So this is 2001 to, when did he leave? Because there was a few...
2010?
He showed up in TNA in 2010, but there was like a few years where he was basically doing nothing. So I want to say 2007 or 8, because I feel like he didn't last a long time after the marijuana bust and losing the title.
Yeah.
And that was 2006.
Come on, fucking...
So,
There we go.
yeah, I would say 7 or 8. We got confirmation coming.
Yeah, 2007. You're right.
7, yeah,
Right.
so, him, that really fucked him and Sabu.
Yeah, big time. And yeah, because he started in TNA in 2010.
Yeah, so he had like 2.5 or whatever years of literally nothing between WWE
It
and
just
TNA.
says he was working indies.
Yeah, but like not even, like sporadically at best.
Like, yeah, WSW, he did PWG.
WSW? Ontario Backyard Fed WSW?
No. It's like the big one in Portugal.
Oh, of course. Famous Portugal Fed.
It looks like he wrestled a lot in Europe.
Huh.
I guess because they were
Good
like,
for him.
hey,
Your name?
why not? Oh, he was in the 2009 Royal Rumble, but then that was it.
Oh, just as a one-shot?
Yeah.
I remember that actually,
He
yeah.
also wrestled for IGF.
Oh, right, yeah, he did. Oh, in like the weirdest match!
Kendo Cashin
And Necro Butcher,
Necro
three-way. Yeah,
That's weird.
because who doesn't want to see that?
Somebody wanted to. He was gone for from WWE by then.
Okay, so we're
And,
talking
like,
01
that's-
to 07.
01
for this
to
run.
07.
And then like the 2014.
2014, but it didn't really matter because he didn't do anything.
I don't think that's going to tip the scales
He got
in
Ricardo,
any
and that
direction.
was about it. In the weirdest teaming up, but
Yeah.
because it's like RVD doesn't really need that. Well, anyways, whatever.
He needs Bill Alfonso. is who he needs.
Yeah. So he, 2-time World Tag Team Champion, one with Kane and one with Booker.
Okay.
He was a one-time WWE Tag Team with Ray when they were Team 420.
Fuck you.
Are
we gonna? I know for a fact we said it on the last podcast.
Yeah.
Are we gonna say on this podcast?
No,
why
because
they
I don't
were
want to.
Team
I don't want to
420?
get made fun of again.
It's not. It's not your fault.
No,
It's just stupid.
it's just dumb. He was a one-time European champion. He was a 4-time Hardcore champion. He was a 6-time Intercontinental champion.
That's got to be
It's up there.
up there. It's got to be
Second or third.
probably.
Yeah, probably, because it's not number one. He was a one-time rebranded ECW champion,
Yes.
and then he was a one-time WWE champion
Yes.
while also holding the ECW champion.
Yeah.
I think he was. I think he was misused in the Invasion because
He was used good. He was used good once on the Invasion pay-per-view.
pay-per-view.
Him and Jeff Hardy had an awesome match.
Yes.
Then they had a not awesome ladder match.
Yeah.
The next month
Next
at
month
SummerSlam.
at SummerSlam. Yeah, that's right. But like for him, unfortunately, like he was. Again, we all know how everybody who likes wrestling knows how bad the Invasion angle was.
Whoa. Slow your roller, partner.
Sure.
Everyone knows the invasion was awesome.
Yeah, okay, clearly.
It was done perfectly. It lasted for years and made
Millions of
upon
dollars.
millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
It completely counteracted the losses for the XFL.
Yep.
And everything was awesome for decades to come.
Forever and ever.
Yeah.
The thing is, he at least he was in the angle, because they could have tried to put somebody, I don't know who, but
Yeah.
at least he was in the angle and he was involved. But like, I don't know, I feel like they didn't really use him properly
No.
in the angle. And then coming out of the angle, I guess they just he didn't really do a whole lot. And then they started doing the Kane thing,
Yes.
which, as I remember at the time, I really enjoyed. I thought it was fun. Like, RVD was this like weird stoner guy, and Kane was sort of like not really a monster as much anymore.
Your classic mismatched tag team.
Yeah, it was fun. They
Yeah.
had a lot of fun stuff. They had some good matches, surprisingly.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say they had that good TLC on Raw, but Van Dam wasn't actually in it, right? Kane competed by himself.
Kane competed by himself.
So I can't really say too much about Rob Van Dam's involvement in that.
No.
But that was a good TLC.
It was a good TLC, yeah, absolutely. And then, you had the, Kane mask off, turning on him,
Yeah.
which was really good. The payoff match was bad.
I don't remember the payoff match.
Kane trying to do his jumping clothesline to the floor from the top.
Trouble brewing.
And he ate shit in the top rope and lost his balance. Got all
I do
tangled up
remember
in the
that. Yeah,
in the ropes.
he fell back into the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
That's been on a Botchamania or two.
and then RVD took a really gross bump off the chokeslam and concussed himself.
Good man. Hey, if you're gonna go big.
But I mean, at that point, he had already won the European. He already won the Hardcore a couple times. He had won the IC. He had a match with Regal at WrestleMania 18.
Yes.
Where he potatoed him really bad, and then Regal gave him the meanest. Was it Tiger Suplex? I think he gave him,
Or half Nelson.
or half Nelson Suplex. Yeah. Gave him a really fucking mean half Nelson Suplex, because you do not potato William Regal.
He will potato you though.
He will,
and you're not allowed to get him back.
No, you get no choice
because he's Regal.
Yeah. But yeah, so then he kind of floundered a bit, and then they rebranded ECW. He didn't really do anything, although he had one of the best moments, my favorite moment of rebranded ECW, which was him and Sabu on ECW TV.
Yes.
Where Sabu
Ladder
sets the ladder on its side and
tries to use it for a triple jump moonsault.
and the ladder just pops out from under him on flat.
Because
and
of course it did.
Sabu eats shit.
Nothing else could have happened in that scenario.
It's so good. You should go, if you can, go find the clip or the match. It is so...
Do yourself a favor.
It is so fucking funny.
I don't know the date, but it's like summer, fall 2006.
Yeah, something like that.
ECW TV.
We were at a house party.
Yeah, and it was fairly early into ECW TV.
Yeah.
It was
July,
the first year.
probably.
Yeah.
But
Because they started it after the second one night stand, right?
Yes.
So
which was
June. Yeah, so I'd say summer, fall 2006.
Yeah.
There's only one RVD Sabu ladder match in WWE, and that's the one. So go find it and
then watch
just
Sabu be a dummy.
It's a goddamn.
But the whole match is garbage. The whole match is a fucked up Sabu and an RVD that doesn't care.
Yeah. It's real good.
But and then they kind of floundered a bit, and ECW was kind of it was what it was.
ECW was kind of almost as good as the Invasion.
Pretty much. And then at some point, obviously, they finally, even though it meant nothing, gave RVD the ECW championship, which he'd never had before.
Yeah.
Granted, at this point, Vince McMahon had been ECW champion.
Was this post Vince? I guess it was.
I feel like this is post Vince. So obviously it meant a lot, especially with Vince being ECW champion, wearing a do-rig, and saying the N-word to Booker T.
You made all of that sound negative, whereas in actuality it was awesome.
It was awesome. But anyways, Van Dam's. You think he's getting a push? He wins that one night stand, and he beats John Cena.
In a really cool match with John Cena.
It is really cool.
Best atmosphere.
Great atmosphere. Cena throwing the shirt into the crowd, getting it thrown back at him, throwing it to the other side, getting it thrown back at him. It's the best possible scenario. It's like that joke that they tell about Michael Douglas' son. that first guy hilarious.
Second
the
guy
second
is a
guy
fucking hero.
is a fucking hero.
Yes.
He is an American hero.
Yes.
So the second guy to throw that
Second
shirt
guy.
back,
Absolutely, 100%.
smartest man in wrestling.
Yeah.
He fucking gets it.
That-
Because some dumb fan would have kept that shirt and it wouldn't have meant anything.
Wouldn't have been cool.
It would have just been that first guy
Yeah.
didn't want Cena's shirt, this guy wanted Cena's shirt.
Yeah. Because, the first guy just did a thing.
Just did a thing.
The second guy started a fucking movement.
Yeah. he was Martin Luther King.
He was Spartacus.
He was Spartacus.
He was Michael Douglas' son.
Michael Douglas.
Kirk Douglas.
Kirk Douglas' son.
Yeah. Michael Douglas' son is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he totally is.
incredible.
Yeah. Which is ridiculous, because your dad was at one point one of the biggest movie stars in the world.
Yeah, until he got cancer from eating pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets the title. I don't remember who he lost it to. Did he lose it back to Cena?
Van Damme?
Yeah.
He, I want to say Edge.
Yeah, that seems...
Because Edge is the go-to when someone has to lose a title.
That is correct.
I knew it.
Sorry, I just was scanning through the Wikipedia page to try and find it.
Yeah.
The ladder match with Sabu is at some point in August.
Okay.
Because it says that he lost a ladder match, #1 contendership for the world title.
Yeah.
And the thing before that was August 8th. So it's some point after August 8th.
Okay, there you go. You can find it, folks. Edge. By the way, Edge, the best paper champion of all time.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh shit, someone tested positive. I give it to Edge. Oh shit, RVD got busted for marijuana. I give it to Edge.
Give it to Edge. Fuck him. Yeah, I'm not...
10-time champion. 10-time fucking champion.
There is too many things going on right now. One Night Stand,
Have you,
Van Dam Orton...
have you fallen
I
down
forgot how many One Night Stands they did.
Well, there were 2 real ones.
2 real ones, but I still, I don't remember...
And then they
He
did
wrestled-
7, 8.
He wrestled Randy Orton at the 2007 one?
Yeah, I kind of remember that. Was it a stretcher match?
Yeah.
Why do I remember that?
Because you're...
Oh, that was his last match. That was
Was
his
it?
last match in WWE, and he won. And nobody could figure out why. Because that is so against WWE's normal booking policy.
Yeah.
Especially when they know a guy is out. They're like, we're going to job the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you should.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point, unless he's like a Shawn Michaels type icon
Yeah.
who can win on their way out.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. Somebody you give the big hurrah to.
Yeah.
He lost the title on a Raw
Yeah.
in a triple threat with Edge and Cena.
Yeah. Well, he had to lose it like the next Raw because he was suspended.
Yeah. He won. He defended it at Vengeance against Edge,
Yeah.
and then 2 nights later on ECW, he defended it. He defended the ECW title against Kurt Angle,
And lost
but then
that.
the next Raw, the following Raw,
Yeah.
was when he jobbed it. And then the next night he lost the ECW title to
Yeah.
the Big Show.
Great.
So he lost 2 titles
In 2 days?
in 2 days.
Yeah, well, they had to get
Of
him
course,
off him.
of course, they
Yeah.
get it off him, but
Yeah.
like, I think that just shows how much they like really don't give a fuck about certain guys. You know, like
Yeah.
you finally build up this guy to be your champion.
Yeah.
You give him
And by the way, he was over.
2 titles.
Yeah.
2 heavyweight titles at
Yep.
the same time. He's super fucking over. He smokes a little bit of pot, and by a little bit of pot, I mean like tons of pot. And you immediately strip both, suspend them.
Yeah.
But other guys, they kind of get looked the other way.
They do, but this, if he had just like, well, if they did testing in 2006, which they didn't, even though Eddie had already died, this was a police incident was the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's
So-
been police incidents before.
Certainly. Jimmy Snuka, for example.
But like there's been tons of things where guys.
there's been
have
like DUIs. And
yeah, but like
stuff
I mean,
that.
the thing is, I feel like
They will protect more guys
Yeah.
who they consider more top guys
I
than
feel like they
Van
turn a
Damme.
blind eye to certain things, whereas
Yeah.
like other things, like. But the fact of the matter is, like he's a double world champion,
Yeah.
and you're like, no, fuck him,
Fuck him.
like fuck him. Who gives a fuck?
He's
It's
out.
RVD.
Yeah.
You know, like.
And like, yeah, like he didn't do anything in WWE after that.
No.
Besides the aforementioned Sabu ladder match.
Anyways, so of course he was out for a while.
Yeah.
He had I don't know, I want to say a brief, because it wasn't really that long, run in TNA.
Yeah, showed up at that that big Monday head-to-head one.
Yeah.
Yeah, in January 2010.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long he was there. A few years?
I want to say it was like 3, maybe?
I would have guessed 2013.
2013.
Because WWE was 2014.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was there for... sorry, I'm just going to quickly scan this until I get to the point. On the X Division title, good for him. March 2013.
Yeah, sounds right.
And then he returned to WWE in June 2013.
Okay, in 2013.
At Payback.
And was he there for a year?
To 2014, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he... yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And then now he's just working whatever, smoking weed, running his comic book / weed dispensary.
Probably working in Portugal again.
Probably. But anyway, so when he went to TNA, he did have one X Division championship. He had one heavyweight championship.
Yeah.
But at that point, who didn't have the heavyweight championship? Fucking Mick Foley had the heavyweight championship in 2009.
Yeah.
Like, everybody had that title.
Yeah. Here's what I can tell you about Van Damme's TNA run. I think on that first show he was on, the head-to-head one, I think they did him versus Styles.
Okay.
I think it was pretty good.
Sure.
Fast forward 6 months, he wins the world title. They do a storyline injury where Abyss attacks him with a board full of nails.
Right.
Named Janice.
Right. Forgot about that.
Abyss had a board full of nails with a name.
Barf.
Left RVD in a pool of fake blood. And now, keep in mind, this is all storyline. Van Damme was not hurt. This was just a storyline. Van Damme vacates the title. They have a tournament to crown a new champion. Rob Van Dam is in the tournament.
Yep. Yep.
That is the extent of what I remember about Rob Van Dam's TNA run.
How many times do you think TNA has literally done that?
More than one.
4 times?
Legit more than one. Because I feel like there is...
The Wolves vacate the tag titles, are then in the tournament for the vacant tag titles.
Yep. There's 2 right there.
Yeah. Anyways.
So yeah, that's what I know about that.
At this point...
Good match with Styles, a silly thing with the world title.
At this point, I would say that TNA for me is a wash, because...
I think we're fine discounting.
Yeah, I mean, just
TNA
the fact that he clearly did something after, that's all that was needed to be mentioned, I guess.
Yeah.
That he did have titles in another prominent company. But I think as far as, I would say match quality, maybe WWE. But as far as entertainment and, like, excitement and being interested in RVD, I would say ECW.
Yeah. I think when this whole topic first came out, this would have been years ago. We've been sort of talking about stuff like this for years, and then last year...
Well, I think it was the conversation started about Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, the better run.
Yeah, and then that's just sort of where everything came from.
Yeah. So, yeah, and this one, and I feel like in talking about Van Dam before, I think I said, and will say again, because my opinion hasn't changed, that I think he was a better wrestler in the WWE run. I think WWE, like, reined in some of his sillier habits.
Yep.
And, and I think he was definitely a more complete wrestler in that run. But yeah, certainly, like, made his name, did a lot of cool stuff in ECW. The tags with Sabu, matches against Sabu, which were alternatingly good and bad, but always crazy.
Always crazy. Yeah. Because anything with Sabu,
Yeah.
he's a goddamn wild man.
Yeah. But if I have to pick which was the better run, I am going to say the 2001 to 2007 WWE run. Your thoughts, your reactions.
If that is what we're going off of,
You kind of pick your own criteria, but
yeah,
if you pick the other one, we will have to throw down, a showdown, and maybe even bro down.
Ooh, bro downs are tough. I don't know that I have the energy to bro down right now. I would say I think.
Are you writing Daniel Cormier horse? No.
I wish I was. No, I thought of one that we forgot to write down, but we should have written down. No, I would say
Oh, that is a good one.
because for his WWE run, obviously he's wrestling better wrestlers.
Yes,
'Cause
on the whole, better, probably more polished wrestlers for sure.
Right.
Which in turn helped.
But it's also a different style, right?
Absolutely.
Because in ECW you can be a little bit more reckless, a little more dangerous.
Yeah. You
whereas
can do springboard somersault plunges 6 rows into the crowd and not give a fuck if you hurt someone in the crowd.
Yeah, and they don't care if you hurt them.
Nope, they think it's cool.
They just want to be around it.
They're a bunch of goddamn Philly meth heads.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah,
I don't give a fuck if I kick Hat Guy on a dive. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that guy with his fucking Hawaiian shirts. But yeah, I mean, obviously, when you're in WWE, you're wrestling better talent for the most part. Like,
yeah.
Obviously, there's guys that you're wrestling that are still garbage, but at least they're on WWE TV. Whereas you're not wrestling fucking Public Enemy. Although Public Enemy was super entertaining. But
Mustafa Syed.
yeah, right. Like, or fucking, I don't know, bad matches with the Eliminators, or like the Gangstas, or fucking Jack Victory.
The Broad Street Bully.
Yeah, anybody, like any of those garbage
I don't know
guys,
if they were
right?
in ECW at the same time, but
No.
It's a good early ECW reference.
But like, you know, I think he was super entertaining in ECW, but ultimately his better run was WWF, and also because WWF, because he was there longer, he accomplished a lot, and he wrestled tons more. And
Actually, time-wise, it was about the same.
I guess so.
Like 95 to 01 and 01 to 07,
I guess that's
so
true.
about 6 years each.
Well, then you add in the year that he was later on.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, anyways, yeah, you're right. It's about the same.
So are we okay agreeing on WWE for that one?
Yeah, I think so.
Next
one is, well, now I'm fucking writing, and...
Oh boy. We made a huge mistake.
Alright, I'm gonna skip. I'll come back to it.
Come back.
So the next one would be Mr. Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero.
Interesting. So obviously we got 2 runs here.
Two clear runs, yeah.
2 clear runs.
I didn't include anything that Eddie did before he got to ECW. He did some stuff. Mexico, Japan...
Yeah, I don't know. We can do...
I'm just saying I didn't write any titles or anything like that.
But we're considering
we talk
it.
about
Yeah.
it. Oh, yeah, 100%.
So basically the 2 runs are pre-WWE and WWE. So whenever his debut, probably 90-ish?
90-ish. I would agree.
To 1998. And then WWE, 1999, till his untimely death in 2005. If that sounded like I was being like sarcastic or making a joke, I wasn't. Like, it really was an untimely death, and it sucked.
Yeah,
so.
it really fucking sucked.
I remember he's one of a couple, only a couple wrestlers that I remember where I was either when they died or when I heard they died.
Yeah? Where
me and Kelly were at a sleepover at Al's house. We had some sort of sleepover Civil War. Like me and Kelly went to Al's, and Chewy and Nick went to Dan's, I think.
Huh.
And we were deciding who had the better sleepover, and then it didn't matter because fucking Eddie Guerrero died.
Yeah.
So it just sucked. Yeah, I just remember waking up on that. I guess it was the Sunday of a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So I think he was going to wrestle and maybe beat Batista for the world title.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And then just hearing, oh, he died, so he's not winning the title, or yeah.
And then he won the title.
Yeah, a lot of people don't remember that. It was a real
the corpse of Eddie Guerrero.
It was a real Austin and Owen situation where he just kind of pulled him on top, even then.
Barely rolled him up. Yeah.
Jokes about death.
Jokes about death.
Hey, we make them because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. We don't have heels, we don't have faces.
Fuck girls in uncomfortable places.
Yes. Apparently, Eddie debuted in CMLL in 1987.
87, wow.
So that's what it says on here, at least.
Yeah. Wow. I believe it. I just haven't...
He was Mascara Magica.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he left in 92 and went to AAA.
Yes.
And was in AAA till 94.
Yeah.
Then he went to New Japan for 93, 96.
Black Tiger 2.
But also ECW at the same time because he was 95.
Yep.
And then WCW from I mean, like, he did some work for them early on, but, like, essentially it was
95.
95.
Yeah. Like fall of 95.
Yeah, because he was definitely...
At the advent of the Nitro era.
Apparently he was a jobber on TV from 89 to 91.
Yeah, I'm sure he did jobs here and
Yeah,
there.
but that doesn't really count.
Yeah. So yeah, I've seen 0 CMLL. I've seen some bits and pieces. AAA. Him and Art Barr.
Yeah. Art Barr.
Art Barr.
Art Barr.
The pirate wrestler.
R.I.P. Art Barr.
R.I.P. Art Barr. R.I.P. Yeah. So they their team, and their obviously the famous match with Santo and Octagon, and the double hair versus double mask at the When Worlds Collide, and then then a lot of trio stuff too with them and Madonna's boyfriend, aka
Fucking
Louis Piccoli.
Louis Piccoli.
Yep.
Goddamn Piccoli driver.
So yeah, and then then your man, that whole team is dead. Holy shit.
Yeah,
Guerrero, Barr.
That is a team of dead people.
All dead before age 40. Damn. Don't wrestle in Mexico in the early 90s, guys. That's my advice to you.
Pretty much.
Probably pretty good advice. So yeah, and then you've got your not that long but notable ECW run. Big feud with Dean Malenko.
Dino?
Where they had a bunch of great matches.
Yep.
And then Japan did some major stuff with Black Tiger 2. I think he won he did win a Super Juniors, either 95 or 96, and I think he was in the finals of the other one of those that he didn't win. I think he was in a finals versus... Yeah, I think 95 was Benoit over him in the finals, and I think 96 was him over Liger in the finals. Or it could be totally fucking wrong.
He won 96.
Over Liger?
So it says.
Yeah. Good for me.
I don't know about over Liger. Sorry, give me a second.
It was over Liger. Just give me...
I accept that he was. It was not over
let me have
Liger.
one.
He beat Liger. And the year before, after, it wasn't the year before. It was just that one. 96. 96. He beat Liger.
Yeah.
But he wasn't in the one before.
He was.
Sorry, he lost to Benoit in the first round.
Oh, not in the finals.
Not in the finals. The finals was Benoit and Otani.
Okay. I'll allow it.
How do you... Oh, okay, never mind.
You
Oh, and he was in the one before. He was in 94.
Yeah, he was in 94.
Yeah.
He didn't win, though.
No, he did not. And he was also in 93. Or, well, Black Tiger 2 was in, so I assume that's always him.
Yep.
So he was also in 93, but he lost in the first round to Malenko.
Yes, I remember that match. That was good.
And...
I think that was the only Super Juniors Dean was in.
You, sir, are correct.
By the way, Dean's fucking great.
Dean is really fucking great.
Like, nobody talks about him anymore, but goddamn, he's one of the smoothest motherfuckers out there. So, if I can offer one piece of advice to anyone listening, go find a bunch of Dean Malenko. Any of it will be
If you got
good.
the network, just do it.
Yeah, just look up Dean Malenko and watch, I'm going to say, every match he had.
My favorite Dean Malenko thing, I mean, just, like, as far as a memory, because, like, obviously his matches were amazing, was him as fucking Cyclope. When he wins the Battle Royal thing.
Yep. That was a good one.
That was pretty good.
That's not Cyclope. It's Dean Malenko.
Dean Malenko.
That's what would have happened if Roddy Piper was commentating that
Roddy
match.
Piper loves to ruin things.
Killer of gimmicks. Who are we talking about? Eddie Guerrero. So had a great Japan run, and then WCW, pretty much exclusively WCW, minus back to New Japan here and there, 95 until leaving at the end of 1998 before jumping with were they the Radicals?
The Radicals.
And what was the...
Revolution.
Okay, that's exactly what my question was.
Yeah.
The team of good wrestlers and Shane Douglas in WCW prior to that.
Yes.
So accomplishment-wise, we've got
he won
the business here.
Well, he won the ECW television title twice.
Yep.
I didn't write down any Japan or Mexico.
Yeah, but we
didn't
talked
actually win
Super
titles.
Juniors, and I'm sure he's got some AAA titles.
Yeah,
AAA trios for sure.
He has a 2-time cruiserweight champion,
Yes.
and he was a 1-time United States champion.
Yes, that's right. And he won the U.S. before the cruiserweight.
Yes.
He won the U.S. very
Very early on.
into his WCW run. And then they realized he was a cruiserweight, so they took him out of the heavyweight division.
I guess you can flip flop all you want.
It was funny because he was probably at his smallest when he won the U.S. title, because then he started doing steroids and winning the cruiserweight title.
Yeah, and getting that weird long mullet thing going on.
Yeah.
And by the way, when we're done this, we're gonna have a long discussion about something that happened in the Super Juniors, not anything specific to what we're doing right now.
This year or another year?
No, in 2000.
I can tell you the finals of 2000.
I don't care about the finals
because I have autism.
It's somebody who's in the tournament.
Is it Kid Romeo?
It's Kid Romeo.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Give me some credit for getting that.
That is pretty good, by the way.
And
That is good.
the finals.
But you do have autism.
I do have autism. The finals was Takaiwa Otani.
Yeah. Is it good?
It does not fucking exist anywhere. I can't find it anywhere because I like both of those guys, and I wanted to find the finals, and it's like one of the few things I couldn't find. It's probably somewhere now. But when I was more into tape trading, couldn't find it anywhere.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because New Japan would do this fucking thing where they would put out a commercial tape of the Super Juniors tournament, and it would not include the finals. They would have a bunch of select matches from the tournament, and then during the closing credits, there would be black and white stills of the finals, and the finals would only air on a television episode.
That's weird.
Baffling.
That's a real piss off.
A commercial tape of a tournament, but you don't get the conclusion.
You don't get a payoff.
Just random stuff. Yeah, so that was always a totally dumb thing. But yeah, we'll talk about Kid Romeo later.
Fucking Kid Romeo.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
It's a weird one. I'll be the first to say.
Yes. All right. So Eddie makes the jump
Yeah.
with Benoit, Emelianenko, and Perry.
They have a big, cool debut.
Yep.
He has one match on SmackDown.
Breaks his arm.
He breaks his arm.
On a move he has done a million times.
On what has been his finisher for the better part of a decade.
Yeah. Good one, Eddie.
Yeah.
On Billy Gunn.
I guess did he just get real excited? Or
I think he just landed weird, right? Wasn't his arm was kind of turned out, so it popped his elbow up and...
But yeah.
In a sling. He kind of becomes the mascot for the team.
Yeah.
Then they decide to break the team up.
Yeah.
He goes with China.
Yeah.
Does the Latino Heat thing, which I actually really enjoyed.
Becomes a huge drug addict.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't you?
Gets fired. Goes to...
Cheats on his wife.
Or
wife.
no,
they get separated.
Separates from his wife. Definitely fucks other people.
Has a kid.
Yeah.
Gets back together with his wife.
Yeah. Works early Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And
it's a really bad matches. He had 2, right?
He had a singles was super crazy.
Which was bad. If I remember correctly, it was very bad.
It wasn't good. And something involving Red and the SAT. It might have been Red and Eddie against the SAT.
I think so, yeah.
And
Eddie just looks pissed off the whole time.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to be there. It's just a payday.
Yeah. Also wrestled in IWA Mid-South at the same time.
Really?
I believe had a 3-way him Ray, because before Ray is Ray between WCW because he didn't come for a year. Him, Ray, and Punk had a 3-way, I believe, which is just the weirdest thing in 2002.
Weird.
Yeah. And then got clean-ish.
Clean
enough to get hired back, let's say that.
Yep. So that would have been 2000.
Clean enough to get hired back in a pre-him dying era where they're not actually testing much, if anything.
2003?
He was back in 2002 sometime, because all the indie stuff was all early 2002. It was spring.
That's right.
So I don't know if he was back summer or fall 2002 or what, but somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And then was okay as far as things go.
Yeah.
For the next 3 years until his heart exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
Yeah.
So during his time, he had the WWE US Championship.
Yeah.
He had the IC twice.
But he was the first US champion when they brought it back?
Yes.
And him and Benoit tournament finals?
Yes. Correct.
Which is not on any of the history of the US title DVDs because Benoit's in it. But it was a really good match, actually.
Yep. I believe the finals on a pay-per-view, right?
It was.
I believe I have that pay-per-view.
You probably could. could or do. I feel like it's, I want to say, Vengeance 2002 comes to mind, but I don't know if that's accurate. But it probably is, because I have autism.
You're on the spectrum.
Definitely on the spectrum, but it's a beautiful rainbow of a spectrum.
Yeah. He had the European twice.
Uh-huh.
He had the tag team titles, WWE tag team titles 4 times.
Some in teams I remember, some in teams I don't.
Twice with Chavo, once with Tajiri, and once with Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
And then he had the WWE title 1 time, was supposed to have it twice possibly.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
Yeah.
Well, somebody knows, but...
I know we're only on the second guy. This is like one of the toughest calls between the 2 runs.
Sure.
At least for me. Like, I could really go either way. Because for most of these, I think mostly in terms of match quality. And goddamn, he did a lot of real good stuff in both. Because, like, the pre-WWFE run, you've got that that AAA tag I mentioned, or AAA / whatever when Worlds Collide. Then you've got a lot of really strong, like, Black Tiger and New Japan stuff. That finals, him and Liger is great. There was that 1994 Junior Tag League with him, Otani, Benoit, and Sasuke, which was awesome. Other him versus Benoit matches in New Japan. The him and Dino series in ECW.
Yep.
Him and Ray having arguably the best match in the history of WCW at Havoc 97. A lot of other strong WCW work.
He had tons of strong WCW work, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
And like...
As a WCW mark at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. And how he came into his own, like, promo and charisma-wise with the heel turn. Because he was never... Like, he was charismatic in ring, but, like, he was not at all a promo guy in his first, like, face run in WCW.
Not really.
But then, like, got a lot more confident and got a lot more steroids.
Which help.
Yep.
They help.
And then...
Get you a little more fired up.
And then that's most of that run. Then you go to WWE, and I can't think of a ton of, like, super strong matches in that first run before he got fired.
Yeah, I mean, there probably was, but nothing
that, like, really stands out. But then when he comes back, then you get the whole SmackDown 6 era thing with where just, like, every week all these dudes are having fucking world-class matches. You had that Eddie versus Edge no DQ where they use the ladder just on a SmackDown, not even on a pay-per-view. And, like, all the Guerreros versus Edge and Ray, Guerreros versus Team Angle, Guerreros versus Benoit and Angle.
Yep.
All that stuff, because they had that 3-way for the tag titles, that Survivor Series 02, Benoit, Angle, Guerreros, Edge and Ray.
It's a good thing Chavo was there to carry that team.
Certainly. And hindsight on Chavo, not great. He was pretty good then, though.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
That was his best.
Yeah, it was his best,
certainly.
for sure. He was workable, for sure. Like, he wasn't holding the team down.
Yeah, no. And then, so then you get through all the SmackDown 6 stuff, and then he and Benoit do another feud, I think, because I feel like they had a pay-per-view match in, like, the middle of 03. Then you get into late 03, early 04, where he gets the world title in a fucking awesome match with Brock Lesnar.
Awesome match, garbage finish, but...
The Goldberg finish, right?
Yeah.
But you take what you can get.
I mean, yeah, he still beat him with the frog splash, but...
Yeah, and it's Eddie Guerrero getting a world title,
so.
and, you know, beggars can't be choosers. And then Angle feud after that. They had some good stuff.
Do you remember their Mania match being bad?
I don't remember it being bad.
It's just not living up to
I remember it not being...
think it would be.
It
I remember
certainly
the finish.
Yeah, it certainly could have been better. It was a fun finish.
Yeah. It was the boot.
The boot, yeah. Yeah, I feel like it didn't go that long.
I don't really remember it doing anything.
And yeah, it was nothing like the other world title match on that show.
Well, nothing happened. I don't know what you're talking about.
Where Stevie Richards beat Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he and Angle had a better one. Did they do it again at SummerSlam?
Maybe.
Where I think they got more time and yeah, got to do a little more. Yeah, the Mania match is definitely underwhelming for sure. I agree with that.
Looking up Manchester Scott.
I think it was SummerSlam.
Yeah, it was SummerSlam. They went 13.
No, it's still not that long.
It was Kurt Angle with Luther Reigns.
Maybe it wasn't that good. Maybe I'm just like, oh, they didn't have a good Mania match. They must have had a good match somewhere else. Maybe they never had a good match. I don't know.
They went 13, and WrestleMania they went... Oh, fuck off. What are you doing to me, Internet?
I'm going to say they went 12 at Mania.
They went...
You're going to tell me they went like 27 now.
21.
Really?
Yeah.
So they did get time.
And it went on that late in the show.
Was it very second last or like one?
It was that, then
Cool down.
Taker Kane,
Oh.
then Benoit Trips.
Oh, they
and
didn't.
Shawn.
They didn't do women's.
Yeah, I guess
Some
not.
Interesting. Yeah, I do remember it going on later, but yeah. So now I can't make excuses because of time. Yeah, it just wasn't.
I just think that we were expecting it to be like this amazing
Yeah.
blowout, and then
Well,
it
it's
wasn't.
just two pretty great guys.
Yeah.
But I guess it just didn't mesh that well. So yeah, and then I don't remember really much of his second half of 2004, and then early 05 we get heel turn and Ray feud.
And Dominic.
Which produced really quite a variance of matches, because their first big match was Mania 21 in 2005, right?
Mm.
And at the time, I remember everyone being super disappointed with it.
Yeah.
And then I remember a few years ago, we watched it in your basement. And,
Oh, yeah.
And we were like, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then they had a few more. They had, I think their best match together was on a SmackDown. And then their blow-off was a ladder match at SummerSlam, which was bad.
Yeah.
And had Vicky famously missing a cue, and Eddie screaming, "Where the fuck is Vicky?"
That's right.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about that.
And especially being involved in wrestling, to have one job and to miss that cue, you fucking suck.
Even if you're not a wrestler.
Especially if
you need one thing that you should be watching
if
for.
you're not a wrestler, literally, you have one job. It's that cue.
Yeah.
You have nothing before and nothing after. You don't have to remember a match.
Yeah.
You have to come out, you have to look for the thing to happen and you to come out, and she fucked it up.
Yeah.
On a massive scale.
And then she worked for the company for several years.
And they called her a pig.
I mean, it's not inaccurate.
Yeah. They were super mean.
They're super mean.
And then
the meanest.
Yeah, so then that ended the Ray feud, and then he was just sort of on the beginning of a turn back to face.
Yeah.
With a Batista feud, and then died, and that's the end of that story.
He also had that fucking horrible match with Benoit at One Night Stand, where you could just tell that they were both they must have been both angry at each other in real life.
For some, yeah.
And they just there was no chemistry, and they both just looked like they were trying to fuck the other one up.
Yeah. What a bummer of a match.
Yeah, and I remember us too. We were like, "Oh, this is gonna be fucking killer," because they're gonna do all the stuff that they don't do in WWE, and then it was like, "Oh, not so much."
Yeah, and I remember it was supposed to be Benoit Malenko.
Yeah,
and then I don't know exactly what happened. Did they just say no? Dean you can't wrestle.
Dean just didn't want to wrestle. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel. I don't know. Maybe Dean, because Dean hadn't wrestled in a while at that point. Maybe he just didn't feel like he could perform, or
well, he also got pretty fat.
Yeah, he did get pretty fat.
He got pretty fat pretty fast.
Yeah, and then,
too fat, too furious.
But then, Benoit Eddie, I don't know
That
I
match,
don't know what happened.
That match is sloppy,
was
and
bad.
there's just something going on.
Yeah. Neither, and they didn't really do anything different than they would have in a WWE match. They were not, a person we'll talk about later, Chris Jericho, who fucking got it at that show.
Yeah.
Wore his goddamn, Lionheart Thrill Seekers gear.
Yeah. The
And-
vest and...
Yeah, with the vest and did, old school moves.
Yep.
Yeah. He got it.
Yeah.
They didn't get it. I'll tell you else who didn't get it. Ray on that show. But Ray did get it the next year because someone told him.
Yes. Wear your old gear, wrestle like your old self.
Yeah.
Have a ridiculously good match with Sabu.
Yeah, don't be a fag, bro.
Yeah, don't be a fag, bro. You know what? I know that there, like you said, there's arguments for both sides of this.
Yeah.
I think that
If you have a strong opinion, I will probably go with it because I could really go either way. I'm leaning towards one, but I'll see which one you say.
Okay. The determining factor for me is that on one hand, it's a bigger company, a lot more focal point, you win a heavyweight championship.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand...
It's true, it's his only world title.
On the other hand, you legitimately had the best match in the history of a company. And I feel like that might trump a title run. Because the title run wasn't really that long.
No, it was 3 months.
And it wasn't really...
February to May.
Wasn't really that memorable. The
No.
build-up to it was.
The build-up was memorable. The win was memorable.
The win was memorable, but the actual run itself...
then it was
meh.
the match with Angle, and then I think 2 with JBL when he lost.
Yeah.
Actually, the loss was memorable.
The loss was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
blood everywhere.
I enjoyed the feud with JBL. I thought that JBL being a complete racist was awesome.
Yeah, it's always good times.
Yeah. But I feel...
Never not funny.
I feel like you can watch the Ray-Eddie match in 50 years.
Yeah.
And it's still going to be the greatest match in the history of anything.
Which is impressive because it's kind of a high spot match.
Yeah.
And a lot of high spot matches don't age. Because, no one's going to say Ray Psychosis from Bash at the Beach 96 is an all-time great in now or in another 10 years.
No.
Whereas Ray and Eddie does.
Yeah.
So it's
just like
that way.
everything in that match goes perfectly, goes smoothly, every spot is hit.
Yeah.
The bumping is amazing. Even when Ray does the running dive, the flip over the top into the Hurricane Rana, and Eddie doesn't really catch him perfectly, but Eddie's smart enough to go, I have to go,
do it. Yeah.
and he fucking wins.
And does it as best he can, yeah.
And it still looks good.
By the way, a fucking, Dragon Rana dive in 1997 is bonkers.
Yeah. So for me, I haven't seen barely any of the Mexico. I've seen the tag match against Octagon and Zanto.
Yeah.
I've seen that because it was on the Eddie DVDs.
Yes. Yeah.
I have seen a very limited amount of Black Tiger stuff.
Yeah.
But I've seen I've seen the ECW stuff with Malenko.
A lot of WCW.
And I saw almost everything he did in WCW. And then of course I saw everything he did in WWE. And I feel like in WWE there was some downtime, there was some meh. Yeah. But I feel like between ECW and definitely WCW, I feel like that's where I go with my vote.
Deal. I'm in. When I said there's one I'm leaning to, that's the one I was leaning to. Between the Ray match, I've seen a lot of Black Tiger stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And the series with Benoit on early Nitro, every one of those matches is awesome.
Yeah, of course.
And often features some of the grossest power bombs in the history of wrestling.
Just disgusting.
That and some strong early Mexico stuff. I'm good with going Eddie pre WWF/E. Next
is a big one because of one side of the title spectrum.
In terms of writing, very interesting. We'll get to it as we go on.
Okay, so the next one on the list has been mentioned. His name is Chris Jericho.
El Corazon de Leon.
Lionheart. He has the worst chest in wrestling.
Currently. It wasn't always the worst. It used to be a regular chest. But
now it's
time passes.
So obviously Jericho started in... Take a guess, because you've been pretty good at guessing these.
I was late on Eddie, though. Jericho, let's go with 1900. and 90 or 1?
1990.
Cool.
At the age of 19. Him and Storm started wrestling. He went by Cowboy Chris Jericho.
Sure he did, because he was a 19-year-old Canadian cowboy.
He took the name
I guess he was from the prairies. So.
He took the name Jericho from the album Walls of Jericho by German power metal band Halloween.
My man. Is that why Kelly likes him?
He must. So yeah, he debuted in Mexico in '92.
Yeah.
Under the name Leon Dioro, Golden Lion.
Golden Lion. Okay.
And then Corazon de Leon.
Yeah.
So he wrestled for CMLL.
Yeah.
It says that he wrestled Silver King and Ultimate Dragon, and he had an 11-month reign as the NWA middleweight champion.
Good for him.
In '93.
Nobody knows anything about Mexican titles, and there's a lot of them.
Nobody cares. Yeah, I gotcha. Did some Wrestling and Romance. Did some...
Yes. Please, Wrestling Association R.
Well, it says slash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best VCW feud that never happened. The bar.
Oh,
It was so good. It was going to be the ideology battle.
Yeah.
Between one, we're going to have two camps. One, because we were going to stop calling our Fed VCW, and we were going to change it to bar, but then the big feud was going to be between these two factions, one who wanted it to be Backyard Association R, and the other who wanted it to be Backyard and Romance. I think we even had the teams picked out. I'd have to go back and look if I have it written down.
You should.
Yeah. I guess we sort of eventually did like a much smaller version of it, just had one show with VCW versus That Sucks Dicks.
Yes.
But
yeah.
It was not the bar feud
Bar
as
feud.
we planned it. Oh, so good.
So then '95, he debuted in ECW.
Yeah.
Did tons of stuff with everyone you can think of that was around. He had a ECW television championship.
Yep.
Which he beat Pitbull number 2.
Yep.
He literally wrestled like everyone. And then that was when WCW noticed him. And then in WCW, he was there for he debuted in '96.
Yeah. And was there until beginning of '99.
'99.
And then was off for no compete for however long.
Yep. Well, he also did some New Japan stuff as well.
Yeah. During
WCW.
Before,
Sorry, during WCW.
Not in '99.
And then he wrestled for.
He was in the Super J Cup '95.
'95. He
had a very good, maybe the best match of the tournament with Benoit.
He wrestled at Wrestling World '97.
New Japan
Against Kanemoto.
Yep.
Then apparently New Japan didn't like him because he botched a bunch of stuff, so then they sent him back to WCW. Then he won the Cruiserweight title 4 times in WCW.
Yeah.
The first one
Record or not?
No, I think Ray. Ray or Kidman or Hoovy maybe. Because like during that last run of WCW,
they did a lot of
guys just like fucking in and out. Like everything in WCW.
Pretty much whoever was there in '99 and 2000 has the record.
Yeah. And then he had like the title versus mask with Hoovy.
Yep.
At Super Brawl.
Because we can't market these guys with masks.
Of course not. You need to see their faces.
What are we gonna do? Sell masks? Like a pervert?
Then, of course, the feud with Malenko.
Yep.
The man of 1,002 holds.
2004.
2004, sir.
Yeah.
2004.
He had 3 more.
4 more.
4 more. Yeah.
Arm bar.
Yeah.
And then
again, very much like Eddie, kind of a bland initial face run, and then really came into his own with the heel run.
Huge turn when he became a heel.
Yeah.
He had the Monday Night Jericho.
Yep.
He had Ralphus.
He had the Goldberg feud without Goldberg.
He had the Goldberg feud without Goldberg.
Which is impressive.
He had like the thing with Lenny Lane, where Lenny Lane was his like
fake Jericho.
His fake Jericho.
Yep.
Like he had so many things that like Malenko, Ray, like when he was trying to steal all the luchadors' masks.
Yep.
like was really like the top cruiserweight for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like Ray was there and he was doing really well, and then they kind of gave it to Hoovy, and like at the time Hoovy was good, but looking back on it, Hoovy sucks.
Can't win them all. The juice is loose.
And then they lost. He like they kind of took him out of the cruiserweight title spot, and then he just kind of did nothing.
Yeah.
He like floundered for a while.
Yeah.
Had the Goldberg feud, and then got sick of everything
And left.
and left.
Yeah.
And then of course had like arguably or not so arguably the greatest debut in the history of wrestling.
Certainly one of the biggest for sure.
Especially because they debuted him against
The Rock.
the number one guy or one of the number one or 1A in the company on the biggest show, like on Raw.
It was was Austin around then, or was he hurt?
He might have been hurt. No, he was.
Yeah, I guess he was around.
He was around.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
The Rock.
they did the injury angle at Survivor Series '99.
Yeah.
And then he was out for a year
Yeah.
or a while.
A while. But yeah, so he gets arguably the greatest debut in the history of.
Yeah, like they were obviously like in that one debut, they were pretty much more behind him than WCW ever was.
Yeah, ever 100% immediately out of the gate, right? Because they realized this kid's got something.
We got something with him, and they, not that WCW didn't place value on promos, because obviously they're an American wrestling promotion, so they did.
Yeah.
But I feel like WWF did more, and they're like, this guy's got promos.
This guy can talk.
So even though he's not a muscle man,
no, he's not big.
Vince McMahon will find him difficult to masturbate to. Let's do something with him.
Yeah. He came in, like, the thing is, when he first came in, I don't remember him doing a lot.
No, was his first
Because there was
feud
no...
X-Pac?
His first feud was X-Pac. There was
it's
no real payoff with The Rock right away.
No, it
like,
wasn't for a while.
They didn't build to anything right away. It wasn't until the, 2000, maybe, was when they had the payoff with The Rock.
Yeah.
So, like, 6 months?
At least.
Something like that. Like, a little bit more than 6 months. But then, of course, immediately you go in and he's like your workhorse guy. Like, he wrestled every show. He wrestled everyone.
Yeah.
Like, now, of course, he's been an employee for WWE for many years.
Yeah.
So the titles have spanned that whole time.
Yeah. So, I'm just looking at your paper here. So, on the first side, you've got Cruiserweight times 4, TV times 1.
Yeah.
And that's where that ends. And then on the other side, you have a novel.
So he's a one-time hardcore champion. Don't remember that.
Sure.
One-time European champion.
Mm-hmm.
He is a 9-time Intercontinental champion.
Which is the record.
Yep. He's a 2-time WWE Tag Team champion, one with the Big Show and one with Edge.
Mm-hmm.
Then he is a 5-time World Tag Team champion. Benoit, The Rock, Christian, Edge, and Big Show.
For $1 million, I could not tell you about the Chris Jericho Rock tag title.
I think it was another one of those stupid, you're feuding with this guy,
so you
win the tag title. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
I'm sure it was too. I'm just mad at it.
Yeah. He is a 3-time World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah. He is a 2-time World Heavyweight Champion. He was the first
I think
ever...
you said World twice, so one of those is WWE.
Oh, WWE, sorry, yeah. Second one's WWE. 2-time WWE Champion.
Yeah.
He's the first ever undisputed champion.
Yeah.
And he's a Grand Slam champion and Triple Crown champion.
Yeah.
Which also was Eddie, and I forgot to mention it. Which was,
yes, that's right.
Which was also RVD, and I forgot to mention it because I wrote this down. Yeah. I wrote this down afterwards. So, so like that's he's right up there with Edge, and like I guess really like they're the two. Like
lots of different titles.
Like guys. Everything, right? Like they're the guys that have probably held the most titles.
Yeah. Yeah, he would be up there for most total titles if you obviously take out like Raven's 45 hardcore title reigns.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but like excluding that, it probably is up there for most title reigns altogether.
Yeah.
Because he's always been a good go-to guy. So what I was going to say about this is I would almost put this into 3. Which is the pre-WWE run, which we talked about.
Yep.
First WWF/E run, 1999 till he left in 05.
Right.
And then all the shorter runs he's done after that
the
put together.
miscellaneous
Was
here
the,
and
was
there.
the first one was 2008? The Shawn feud?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Jobbing to Fandango at WrestleMania?
That's the one, yeah. And so yeah, I obviously we don't have the numbers on which titles came. If
I mean,
split
we
it
would
into
have
three-
to we'd have to sit down and
Which-
actually physically look at everything, but who
forget about
has
it.
time for
Who's
that?
got the time?
I have OCD and you're autistic, but that's a lot of work.
But yeah, but I'll tell you. I'm gonna have a spoiler. I don't know if it counts as a spoiler. If it's just just a pick coming perhaps earlier than you would expect. But if we split it into three, I would pick the third one as the best run. So, spoiler, if we're keeping it as two, it's obviously the WWE run, because even if it's one, I pick it, and even if you split it up, I pick the later one. And I'll tell you why I pick the later one.
You mean the comeback, like
The 2008 onward.
Gotcha.
For his World Class Series with AJ Styles this year. No.
I was gonna say for all of the amazing matches he's had with a caved-in chest.
For the cage match with Dean Ambrose, where, God bless him, he took tax and nobody cared.
Yeah, no one gave a shit.
No, I really would pick the last run for the 2008 Shawn feud and the 2009 Ray feud.
Yes.
Those two were both two of the best things he ever did in his career. And between them, obviously, there's other good stuff. We talked a lot about the WCW. I've seen very little Mexico. I've seen a little Smoky Mountain. I've seen some Thrill Seekers, and they're fun. ECW, one of my favorite ECW matches of all time. Heatwave 96 4-way. Him, Pitbull 2, Scorpio, Shane Douglas goes about an hour and a half. And it's...
I think you're underestimating it.
And it's awesome. I fucking love it. It's also a sentimental favorite of mine, because it is the... Heatwave 96 was the first ECW white box master VHS I got from ECWWrestling.com for about $35 American after shipping.
That's a lot.
I think I bought 3 tapes for $100.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And that was the first ECW I ever watched. Was that show. But I've watched it in the last couple of years and still fucking love that match. So that, and another strong one if we do it in 3, in the middle run, him and Benoit ladder match, Royal Rumble 01, might be my favorite ladder match of all time. I would have to think about it. But it's way up there, and it's awesome.
Yep.
And features maybe the nastiest blocking a tope with a chair shot ever.
Yes.
Holy fuck.
Oh my god, that's mean.
Benoit is just suicidal.
As we know.
Huh. I wonder if I meant that to be as literal as I said it. I don't think I did. I just meant he was really going for it in that tope.
He really
but
did. Well, I don't know. What was worse,
then
that
he-
one or when he hits the side of the table?
I swear to God, I thought you were going to say what was worse, that or when he killed his family. And you know what? I'm going to say it was when he killed his family. I think it was worse than that tope. The table's also horrendous.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, so yeah, if we...
What the fuck?
Yeah, so if we do it in 3, it's the last run. If we do it in 2, it's the
It's
WWE
WWE.
run. Your thoughts?
I see your argument for the third part.
And I raise you.
I say we break it up into 3. That
Okay.
totally works for me.
Sure.
And I don't know if I'm being a little bit nostalgic, but from the time period of, I'm going to say 1997 to maybe like 2006,
Yeah.
I don't think that anybody was more my favorite wrestler than Chris Jericho.
Fair.
I think he was, I mean, as much as I was obsessed with watching Raw and even SmackDown when it was around.
Yeah. When it was around, like it's not around.
Sorry,
anymore.
when it came around.
Yeah.
Jericho was the thing I wanted to see. Like, obviously I cared about The Rock, I cared about Austin, I cared about the Hardys and the Dudleys and Edge Christian and all that stuff. But Jericho was what I
But
wanted
if
to see.
if I had to pick one person, it was Devon Dudley.
Yeah, of course.
He was my favorite.
Yeah, of course. Or little Spike Dudley.
LSD.
LSD. Or Big Dick. That was mostly Big Dick.
Are we still talking about the Dudleys?
Yeah. But yeah, no.
Man, I just love Big Dick.
I just love Big Dick. But yeah, I don't think that anybody was my favorite more than Jericho, and everything that Jericho did to me was, just because like.
Wait. What did Jericho do to you?
He did some things.
Okay.
I got some skeletons in my closet. But everything he did and
Skeleton La Parka.
I wish it was La Parka. Can we do a run on La Parka?
Sure.
'Cause
If you have to have a skeleton in your closet, I recommend La Parka.
Yes. You want the chairman of WCW.
Yes.
In your closet.
Yeah.
I think the thing with Jericho too is like, he's got his character, like his the way he talked, the way he like kind of presented himself, the way that he wrestled was something that I was like drawn to. That was what I liked about wrestling, was like, oh, this guy's like a brash asshole who like is really cocky, but he's also kind of a bitch.
Yeah,
right.
Like it's a good gimmick.
And I feel like
how he had the best WrestleMania main event of all time.
You mean WrestleMania 18?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not fair, but
no, not
that was mean.
But yeah, he everything about what he did, I loved. Like there was never anything where I went like, that Jericho match was okay. Like even if he was wrestling like garbage people,
you were on board.
I was on board, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, like I feel like after that when he came back, there was definitely times where I was like, oh man, Jericho might need to retire.
2016, for example.
2016, but even
other times,
the Fandango thing was garbage.
What like as I've said, I think I said it on maybe even the last podcast because we were talking about Mania, so it might have come up. But like, goddamn, like Jericho's only got so many more Manias in him. What a goddamn waste.
Yeah. But I think that they really thought Fandango was going to be a thing.
Why?
I have no idea.
Why did they think that?
They
knew it was a silly gimmick. He was a dancer.
What proves to you that Johnny Curtis is good for business?
I don't know.
He's not really that big.
No.
He had never proven himself.
No.
As far as like in-ring ability, not like wrestling work ethic.
He won NXT season 4.
Good for him.
That's something.
So did Loki.
He won season 2.
Sorry, Loki also won NXT. God damn it.
So did Caitlyn.
But I also feel like when Jericho came back and he had that 2009 title run, I feel like he was garbage.
2009? Well, 2009 was the Ray feud, which was great.
But not when he was champion.
No. What was his feud when he was champion? Was he champion?
It was him and Cena, wasn't it?
Maybe?
Maybe? I just feel like...
he had the belt during the Shawn feud.
Yeah.
In 08.
Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, that's 2009, bruh. Let me just scroll.
Like, summer 09.
I'm gonna Marty scroll this down.
Summer 09 was the Ray feud. He had the title in 2010 because WrestleMania 2010 was him Edge for the title.
Yeah, I just... oh, here you go.
And that was whatever.
Oh, God. I'm reading so many garbage things right now. So he won the title at Elimination Chamber 2010.
Yes, because Shawn cost Taker to set up the second Shawn Taker. And then they did Jericho Edge at Mania.
Yeah. I don't know, I just remember that whole everything in that time period not being great.
that was nothing great. And then there was a later...
And then he lost the title to fucking Jack Swagger.
Well, that's not good for business.
No.
I'll be the first to say that.
Yeah.
Then what year was him Punk for the title? I guess that was 2012.
2012.
I like that match. I feel like that match...
Good. Yeah.
That match got really underrated. And then they had a good one they did like a gimmick match the next month at Extreme Rules or whatever.
Yeah.
That was also quite good.
Let me see what I can bring up on that. But yeah,
Which was actually a really good. That was a great pay-per-view actually, because it was it was Jericho Punk gimmick match. It was the amazingly good fucking Amdrag Sheamus 2 out of 3, which is Sheamus's best match of his career by a landslide.
And there isn't even a second one.
and Cena Brock.
Yeah.
That's a great pay-per-view. So there's some good Jericho Punk stuff in 2012. Oh, and also there was a good Jericho Punk the next year that we watched at Crucible's house in New York in 2013.
Oh yeah.
At I want to say Payback.
Payback,
2013.
yeah.
So
there's
good
the
stuff here.
I feel like I'm not saying there wasn't good Jericho stuff in there.
I will be the first to say third one was his. If you put it all together, was his least consistent.
Probably, yeah. That's what I think that's more for me what it is that the third run had some good stuff, but it also had some not as great things. Maybe not his fault. I think more recently, I feel like he's getting old and might just not be able to do it as competitively as he thinks he can.
Don't tell him that.
I will not tell him that. But he is in his 40s.
He is in his 40s.
So
he might be in his 50s.
For me, like I mean, obviously, I can't carry over to WCW, but like the WCW stuff to the first departure. Yeah. So like for that, pretty much the first run of WWE is like for me that's the one.
So if it's just in 2,
if it's just in 2, it's WWE.
Okay, and if it's in 3, it's the second of 3.
It's the first part of WWE.
All right. I think we're good with agreeing that it's
WWE.
That's part 2 if it's 2.
It's 2 or 3 if it's 3.
You could convince me if it's in 3 on the middle one, but I'm fine leaving it as is with me on 3, you on 2. Because the Shawn series and the Ray series are both so great. But
can we?
What? Time out.
I have to pee.
I started there too. So
can we record this in 2 pieces?
We absolutely can. We're gonna call this the end of part 1, and we'll see you right back for part 2 in a minute.
Suck it.